It's a match that's been done to death, and here on AEW Dynamite we got Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page, baby. One more time. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. Everybody, banned from ringside, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. There must be a definitive winner. That was your main event. Now, we're going to put the cards on the table here. We did not watch Dynamite. You're not feeling the best. His head is splitting him. And to be honest, Tony Khan just has fucking rubbed me the wrong way. Ever since Hulk Hogan died, just the lack of anything towards his death. I know we got what Shivani said on Collision, but let's be honest, man. What Shivani said on Collision could be reserved for like an absolute jobber that died for like 25 years ago. I didn't like it, and then also like his treatment in the past of the guy. I think Tony Khan's an absolute fucking loser, so I really don't want to talk about AEW, but we're here nonetheless.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I just don't think... Can AEW really go over the top, though, with a...
Japan did.
Yeah, Hogan worked in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He actually worked in that company. He was a megastar. He was huge in New Japan. He never stepped foot inside AEW, and he was banned, you know. I think it would be a bit hypocritical for Tony Khan if he came out and dedicated a full show to Hulk Hogan after banning him. I think what Shivani did on Collision
No, but that's my point.
was alright, but I just don't see why we couldn't have got like a post or something on the social media account. I think it is a bit strange that they waited like 3 days, and then obviously within that 3 days they did take a little bit of criticism, and that might be why in the end they decided to do something. But yeah, I get it. Could they have done more? I mean, yeah, I think so, but at the same time,
I understand your point, right? But
I don't expect them to do what WWE did.
no, they should not. No, because WWE should. I mean, that WWE is, you know, that should be what the big tribute is. I totally get that, right? But this stems more from just Hulk Hogan's death. This stems me into what Tony Khan tried to make out what Hulk Hogan was, like this fucking monster, and banned him from the company all those years ago. To me, it stems for that. It's like you're making out the Hulk Hogan is this like absolute horrible human being, worst guy on the planet, you know, for saying a fucking word. But then you'll employ guys like MVP who literally fucking like robbed people at gunpoint on a fucking cruise ship and did time. Now if MVP can change from doing fucking robbery and you robbing people,
Sounds like his wee buddy George Floyd.
aye, but no, but it's like if MVP can be forgiven for what he did in the past, right? And hell, you know, he did his time, right? All that stuff. Well, why can't Hulk Hogan be forgiven for saying a fucking word?
Hulk Hogan's the wrong shade of white. Can we just move on?
Nah, we'll move on. Anyway, everyone banned from ringside tonight, but we were banned from watching the show because, I don't know, man, wrestling, I've lost.
Wrong shade of white and too far on the right. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, and speaking of too far on the right, we're in Chicago.
Biggest shit. Well, I say biggest shithole.
Take your pick.
Let's be honest. How many shitholes is there in America?
Too many to count. Who are we trying to kid?
And here,
Let's stop painting America with a shithole fucking brush, man. Everywhere's got shitholes in it these days.
Yeah, but see if you look at but I mean it's not a coincidence. If you look at all the worst places in America, it is all democratic cities. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, can't dispute that.
And if you look at America, see if you look at the places with the most gun crime, it tends to be places that have actually strict gun laws, just proving that they actually do not work.
Who'd have thought it? It's actually it's the people that own the guns, not the guns themselves, you know what I mean? All the criminals, guys, they're all gonna hand over their guns if we make them illegal.
If you force me to watch any more wrestling, I'll not be handing over my guns, I'll tell you that, I'll be using them.
Anyway, it's time for the Young Guns, as it's time for the Young Bucks to take on the Outrunners. First match, tag team tournament, they came out, the graphics said something along the lines of test team or something like that. I mean, at least they're trying something here, I'll give them that.
I get it. Listen, I've seen people say the Young Bucks understand wrestling and they get it and like they're really smart, and I wouldn't necessarily say I disagree with that, because I actually do think the Young Bucks to some extent are a bit knowledgeable, but at the same time I also just can't accept that they are knowledgeable about the business and work the style that they do. Unless, of course, they've just given in to the fact that here, in this new age era of wrestling, this is what the fans want. Maybe they've just worked their way into a style that they think suits wrestling in this new era. But I just don't see how people can claim that they're masters of the business and have 20 super kicks in a 5-second period where nobody sells a single one. It just doesn't work for me.
No, it doesn't work for me either. But I mean, if you actually just look at the Young Bucks, I mean, why did they land the EVP titles? Why have they got so much power in this company? It's basically just down to the fact that when Tony Khan wanted to create a company, he got a bunch of guys off the indies that were considered the top guys of the indies to help him.
You know what? It would be easy to sit here and bash the Young Bucks and say they ain't draws, but who is? Let's be honest.
Low hanging fruit, man.
See in professional wrestling, who is a draw? I mean, you're talking. If you're and what do you mean by draw? Do you mean? Cause see, I mean draw. Someone that can get substantial increase in viewers, whether it be social media clips, whether it be an increase in television ratings, whether it be someone that can actually make a difference to the buy rates of a pay-per-view. I know WWE don't have them anymore. That's what I think of a draw.
I agree, and I think you know how you
getting a half decent fan reaction. That's not a draw. See Rhea Ripley, right? The losers will mark out for Rhea Ripley when her theme hits. This is my brutal, and then you've got all these guys that want whipped and dominated, losing their heads, right? But see, when it comes to viewership, and I mean we deep dive into it every single week. Rhea Ripley's clips, right? They're not getting more than any other female. A lot of times they're getting less. When we did the quarter by quarter hours, she was and for some reason we don't really have access to them anymore. But she was never her quarters were never higher than anyone else's. She's not a draw. People don't. I
see draws, right? This is to me. I'm not saying this is the perfect example, right, of draws, but for me, someone who draws in wrestling is somebody who, no matter what company they go into, they are the best in it, and they actually draw decent numbers. Look at CM Punk, right? I honestly, personally, the more I get older and the more years we get for
Well, I don't think you need to be the best person in it, because you could be a draw.
One of the best people in it.
You could
Punk drew in AEW and he drew in WWE, right? Look at fucking Cody Rhodes. See when he was in AEW, the guy felt so. See an issue.
Here, but what I would say is I think since CM Punk's return to WWE, his drawing power has considerably diminished.
If John Cena, right, decided in December, fuck this, I'm going to AEW, he's going to draw massive numbers. No two ways about it.
That would get Dynamite back over 1 million viewers.
It's we seen Bobby Lashley, right? Yeah, he went to AEW, debuted to go 2 million. Is he doing 2 million now? See, the difference is John Cena. If he goes to AEW, I'm not saying his first clip's not going to be the highest viewed, because it probably would be. But see, after 4 months, John Cena's doing millions.
Yeah, anybody can really move from one company to the other, and they will get a decent amount of viewership because look, he's left.
Alistair Black got 1 million.
He's left A company to go to B company. But real draws would keep those views, and these people just don't. So
yeah, it's Punk got a whole show created for him, and you would be lying to say that the AEW ratings have not fucking nosedived since that guy left the company. I mean, they're going downhill anyway, but by God, it sped them up. But again, at the same time, the guys in WWE, and is it any coincidence you say that this guy's his drawing powers nosedived as well? It's like Punk's come into WWE and the fucking ratings have went back up again.
He has. See, when Punk first came back to WWE, I remember doing the Raw ratings, and I think that a show that he was advertised for on Raw was getting about roughly 300 to 400,000 of an increase in viewership.
Yeah.
See now, I know it's on Netflix and the ratings just don't go up, but honestly, I don't even think I don't think Punk being on a show now you can guarantee you an increase in viewership. But it's because when he came back, it felt big. He's back in the company that he left a decade ago after all this heat that he had. And They've just done nothing with the guy.
And also, see a key thing you got to remember. A key thing you've got to remember as well. See a lot of the draws of the past, right? We are talking decades ago. See back in the day when you've got guys like moving companies and then you're going into the 2000s and WCW guys are coming to WWE, you're only like a few years removed from those guys at their peak. See now when you bring back a Goldberg, I mean Goldberg's peak's fucking donkeys ago. It's like, it's going to be far more likely that Goldberg's not going to draw what he did in like 98 in 2025. Talking about fucking 27 years.
Yep, 100%.
But we'll move on, man. We moved away. Moved away for the Young Bucks there, and we've kind of just ranted and raved. But the Young Bucks, they pick up the victory, right? We cut backstage. Oh, no, I say we cut backstage. Okada comes out, biatch, brilliant. Swerve then hits the Young Bucks and hits Okada, and I don't care for any of this. Get it right, Renew, Okada, my friend. Mark Briscoe then cuts a promo with Renee. And Tony Schiavone then welcomes Christian Cage to the ring. Tony, my name is Christian Cage, and I'm an asshole. That's what he said. Christian Cage, I mean, what did Edge tell him a couple of weeks ago? You gotta find yourself, buddy. Go find yourself. So Taz then said, that's a shoot. For whatever you... Honestly, man, Christian Cage is just a perfect example of a guy that, you know, he's not going to get any fucking younger. It's time to push him. Or don't. Not agree?
Yep, I agree.
I just don't see the point of having guy... I mean, people are like, oh, the worst thing you could hear a guy say is when he joins and I want to put the young guys over. See Edges, your Christians, Bobby Lashley, I mean, they're fucking 50 odds, right? It's now or never.
Honestly, these guys, they can't put young people over. They don't have the star power to put young people over. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like Edge. I don't like Christian. Of course I do. I mean, for God's sake. Aye, guys, a bit preoccupied watching the Hibernian Michelin game because you know what, football's better than wrestling. It is what it is.
It's real. It's fucking real to me, damn it.
But yeah, no, it's like. The reason I think wrestling is dead because they haven't created enough
people to put the next generation over.
Yeah, they haven't actually created enough stars while having stars of the previous era to create the new stars. Like when you look at the passing of the fucking torch, you know, like I know Rock was already a megastar before he fought Hogan, right? But that match, that was like icon versus icon, but it was like, you know, passing the torch to the guy, and then you look at the Ruthless Aggression era. Oh, why did Brock and Cena and Batista and Orton, like, why did those guys actually get to, like, true level main event status? Because look at who they were going up against in the main event. Look at who they were being elevated up against. You know, you're Austin, alright, maybe Austin and Rock maybe just left before it, but you're like, your Michaels, your Triple H's, your Takers. You don't get that now, and now your Cena is gone, your Batista's gone, Brock's gone.
Randy Orton and Batista, I mean, look how many programs they worked against, like Triple H and Undertaker. Obviously, less so Batista Michaels. Maybe did get that match a wee bit, but nothing major. But you're right, there's fucking nobody. See those like 12, 13 years, right, where you had like Brock return and Taker and Triple H were wrestling. The reality
that
is...
was the time to really...
Yes.
That was the time to try and create new stars. But you know what they did? See, back then... And you can argue rightfully so. See, any time like an Undertaker did fight a mid-card guy, it was pretty much a squash match, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you knew Undertaker was going to win, and he did win. And a lot of times, I feel like going into the 2010s, late 2010s, McMahon just had his top guys against his top guys, rather than have a top guy versus a mid-card guy.
No, I agree.
McMahon would have rather went with Brock Lesnar versus Triple H and Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, rather than do like a Brock Lesnar versus like a Drew McIntyre back then, or a Brock Lesnar versus, you know, he wasn't doing Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes back then, or like Brock Lesnar versus a Dolph Ziggler. They weren't doing that shit, you know. They were just having the top guys versus the top guys.
Like I know Sheamus and The Miz and guys like that, or like Bryan, right? They are a lot worse than a lot worse is a fucking understatement, right? But they worked with like Cena, they worked with Triple H, they worked with guys like that. realistically, see, once you're getting to like the late 2010s, am I wrong for thinking that guys like The Miz, Sheamus, and Bryan should be there to be like ready to put the next generation over? Because that's the way wrestling's always been, man. You look at through the years, like the previous. It's like it doesn't necessarily have to be a previous generation, but it's like the star at that time always puts over like the next guy. I mean, if you look at like 97, 98. Brett puts over Austin, Mania 13. I know Brett won, Austin passed out, but that's a mental moment, right? Mental match. Then at 98, Austin beats Michaels. And obviously, it's not just an age thing, but it's where you are in the card at the time. Where are these guys today with those sort of moments? Like, people are like, oh, we're getting that Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed match. See if fucking Roman Reigns is half as over as people think he is. Should he not be putting over Braun Breaker?
Yeah, he should be.
People are creaming their pants. Oh, hey, let him spear him on Raw. That's getting him over. Doing a fucking move to him's not getting him over.
Yep.
Look, I mean, through a barricade. Crap. Second match. Can't believe this was second after the Christian promo, but it's Hangman Page versus Moxley. So at the end of the first hour, so what we had
was... For the title?
Aye, for the title. Darby Allin came out on the balcony, but no one was allowed at ringside, so I feel like the rules just went out the window on this occasion. So I don't like it, brother. But he did a buckshot lariat. Moxley hits him in the face with the belt, and then he actually kicked out at like 2.9. I'll imagine they gave Moxley back the belt. How fucking ridiculous that would have been. That would have been soul destroying. But then he hits him eventually with a dead eye, and Moxley's defeated. What's next for John? What's next for John Moxley? What do you think?
What? No, this is what should happen. See, when the champion loses, he should get a rematch. And Tony Khan's giving you it on free TV. I don't give a fuck what people are saying. Oh, but we've seen it. We're bored it. We're done to it. It's done to death. No. See, after Cody Rhodes defeated Roman Reigns at Mania 40, you know what should have happened? It should have been, see on the next night, or in the build-up between Mania 40 to the next Backlash, it should have been Roman Reigns' bloodline taking on Cody and a bunch of the guys that came out to fucking help him at that pay-per-view. Now, you could argue, oh, maybe some of them aren't fit. You know what I mean? Cody could have assembled his team. So it should have been like the...
Was McMahon fit until I was at 9? I mean, let's be fucking real here. You know, when they did that, the McMahons and Triple H versus Legacy.
You know what I mean? It should have been something like... Should have been some... Was Jey Uso and Team Cody back then, aye?
Aye.
So it should have been like Roman Reigns. It should have been Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy versus Cody, Jay, and fucking Cena. Why not? On the Raw after Mania, and then on Backlash, you're getting the rematch: Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. That's how it fucking works. Not Roman Reigns losing and disappearing for 6 months. That's bullshit. That's not. How's that putting over? Yeah. Oh, Cody Rhodes, you're the new champion. Who did you beat? I don't know. He's not here anymore.
Yeah, I mean, look at Rock Austin after X7, man. I mean, you've got a steel cage match the next night. A 2-man power trip.
And The Rock was only gone because he was filming a movie. Roman Reigns ain't got.
Movie star.
You know what I mean? Roman Reigns ain't got. Oh, I was raising the next bloodline. Piss off.
The next bloodline. Anyway, Athena and Billy Starks defeat Tony Storm and Alex Windsor. Less said about it, the better. Mark Briscoe takes on...
No, but see when you defeat the champion, and then the champion just takes weeks or months off, and the champion's no longer on TV, it does, it diminishes your win.
No, of course it does.
Because it's almost like, yeah, who did you actually beat? He's not even here anymore. He's just given up and left. You know, and the champion should want to chase and get his title back. It is weak as fuck. Roman Reigns loses his belt that he had for almost 4 years, and he just leaves. We don't see him to SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, it's like 98. I bet see in an ideal world, like, I bet you Shawn Michaels' back's fine and he's no fucking pilled out and they keep him.
Well, but how many times when wrestling was good, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, see when somebody lost their belt, the next night on Raw, they'd come out, they'd want to win it back.
I know. I mean, but look at Kurt Angle at Mania 19, man. The guy fucking wrestles through the match with a broken neck. Yeah, and he's not there the weeks or the few months after, but he comes back after like 7-8 weeks, fucking ready to rock. Ready to roll again after a broken neck. Fucking Roman Reigns is too busy doing ABCs with his kids. I mean, what are we doing here, man? While making a lot more money. Anyway, Mark Briscoe defeats Ricochet. If you want to talk about a guy that's fucking stock has absolutely plummeted, Ricochet's that, man. Remember this guy was in like getting to finals of tournaments and on the verge of winning belts. What's happened?
Yeah, I think it's strange because I would actually argue that this guy's like first 6 months in AEW is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm losing my time. How long's he been in AEW?
I can't. End of last year, maybe.
But when he first started in AEW, he felt like a big deal.
No, he
was
did.
doing well.
And this ended the show because Mark Briscoe wins, and then out came MJF, and they got into a bit of a brawl. I mean, how's MJF and Mark Briscoe ending the fucking show? How have you got a world title match where it's like it's billed as like the last time ever? You know, it's like that final encounter match, Austin Taker. They're trying to go along the lines of that. Like, what was that? Was that Unforgiven '99 or Breakdown or something? And this fucking goes on last. Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet. Crap. Anyway, that's it for your Dynamite review. 30th of July.
It makes me wonder. I wonder if Dynamite was up against something, and that's why. I wonder if the final hour of AEW is going to be compromised, and that's why he's put
something shite in there.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can really think of.
Looks that way. Anyway, guys.
I think that's weak, honestly. Trying to see. I don't. Oh, you're sabotaging your show just because there's something else on. It's like, you know, I would just put my title match on last, and here, if we've got competition, then here, if our title match isn't good enough to get the amount of fans that we want, then that's on news. You know what I mean?
The fact is, guys, back in the day, if we were getting Austin versus The Rock on Raw and you weren't tuning in to see it, that's on you. Yeah, I mean, I don't care what sport was on. Anyway, that's it. That's it. Wrapped up. That's your recap. I mean, we'll do the ratings. We'll look into what they were against because you're right. It had to be something. I doubt they just fucking plucked this for fun. But then Tony Khan has had weird placement of stuff before. Let's not pretend he's never done it. So we'll see. Till next time. Peace.